Jesse, who is going to teach us on how to break our plateaus, how to break our limits. Our purpose is to help you create meaningful business relationships. Therefore, if you are watching us live on LinkedIn, come join us here live on Zoom, because after Jesse finishes his presentation, you'll have the great chance to introduce yourself for a minute. Tell us what you do, where you're from, what are your needs in business, and we are going to be very happy to get you in touch with the persons that you need to help you either grow your business, have a new employee, have new clients, because Bob has quite some great results from this wonderful events. Before we start, what a great pleasure to introduce you to our wonderful speaker today, Jesse Sweed, who is in beautiful Spain, an American that is a speaker, an English fluency success coach for entrepreneurs and executives. He's also a podcast host. He is a wonderful person that gives you so much in 10 minutes. I have to say that I have been fully amazed how wonderful this exercise that we start with, his breath work, is feeling on you. I don't know, it's morning here in Romania. I'm just getting started here. If it's afternoon or evening for you, you can definitely use Jess's amazing knowledge. So, I have my pen and paper ready. I always do when I'm around these amazing people that are our speakers. So, Jesse, without further ado, you have the floor. Do have your presentation starting, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Just let me know throughout the presentation if the internet kind of cuts out, and I will share my internet from my phone because I'm in a different place today. So, but true to the topic of today, we will handle that if it comes out, and we will not stress about it before that time. But can I actually have some, oh, there we go. Okay, I'm permitted. Okay, awesome. So you can see the full screen now, right? Yes. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I am Jesse. As you know, Roxana so graciously introduced me, and I am an English fluency success coach, and I help businesses and business people and entrepreneurs really raise their level of English from the inside. So today, I know English isn't probably the top priority for a lot of people. So I want to expand it. The things that I target with English are applicable to any areas of life in raising your own level, whether in your company, in your business, in your relationships, right? We're going to break this word is pronounced plateau, plateau, to get to the next level in whatever it is that you want to make the jump. So whether it's being a leader, whether it's being a father, whether it's being an employee and getting a promotion, whether it's being an entrepreneur and getting more clients, we're going to do an exercise to help you break and get to the next level. Are we ready? So good. Today, I know most of you are muted, but I kind of want it to be interactive. You can stay muted if you want. You don't have to, it's up to you. But when I say like repeat me when I say something, I want you to actually repeat it because we want all of our senses to get involved today. Okay, does that sound fair? Because I'm looking at your mouths too, even if you're on mute. Okay, so a lot of you can take a screenshot of this as a reference if you want. Probably a lot of you are familiar with a lot of people on this list. What I'm going to go over today is really customized and condensed versions from topics from these types of people: Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Maxwell Maltz, my friend who's a hypnotherapist, Adrian Moreno, John Nasser, and you also see Mike Tyson. You might be thinking, Mike Tyson, and I will tell you, Mike Tyson, he has a podcast called Hot Boxing, and he goes deep into personal development in there. If you want to know, he was on top of the world at 19 years old, on top of the world. Most people don't survive that kind of life. He did. And he has gone inside and internalized his process, and he kind of shares his lessons and what he's learned and his mindset of being a champion. I highly recommend it. Les Brown, all of these people, if you want to take a screenshot, look them up, look their videos up later. They're great. But first, I want to thank you for being here, right? Here in the meeting, there are 17 of us. On LinkedIn, a lot more. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. It says a lot about you. It says a lot about how much you value yourself, how much you value your career, because whether you're here to, listen to this, or just to promote your thing, or to connect with people, that's beautiful. You're taking this hour out of your morning or out of your afternoon or out of your evening to advance forward. So I want to take a minute and acknowledge that and congratulate you for that. And I want you to congratulate yourself for that. You could be anywhere. You could be anywhere. You could have had excuses not to come, but you're here, and you're here for a reason. So I'd like us to look inside ourselves and find that reason why you're here today. I'm here to assist you in that. So as I said, these are lessons that were brought from a lot of people that we're familiar with. So some of what I'm going to say, a lot of what I'm going to say, you may have heard before. You may have even shared with others before. You may have read about, right? And you can even repeat. And that's knowing. But what my goal is today is to move from knowing to understanding. This was a profound difference when I understood it in myself. So knowing something is being able to, in English lesson terms, like understand grammar and then write it down on an exam. That's knowing something. But understanding something changes you, right? I have a story that I have about my son when he was 2 years old. I always liked to have him be with me when I'm doing things, especially in the kitchen, right? But he likes to get into all sorts of things. And I'm like, Dante is his name. I'm like, Dante, don't touch this. This is hot. And he's 2, he doesn't listen. He's going all over. Dante, don't touch this. This is hot. And sometimes, he would even say, I would say, Dante, don't touch that. And he'd say hot. So he knew that, right? Well, one day, I think you probably know what's coming. There was a hot pan on there, and he reached up and got curious, and he touched the pan, and he burned the tips of his fingers. 2 years old, he burnt the tips of his fingers, and they were blistered. We had to take him to the emergency room. I felt like the worst father ever. Like, I don't know if you have kids and things have happened like that, you know how I feel. I felt like the worst. Everything happened. Everything went well. He got some bandages on, some ointment, some cream. He's perfect now. He's almost 5. But ever since that day, he doesn't play around the stove. And he'll even tell me, that's hot. Is that hot, Daddy? And I'll say, no, it's not hot right now. So that was the day that he understood that it was hot. The difference between knowing and understanding. So the principles we talk about today, even if they're old, I found the deepest lessons I've found in life were when I already knew something, and one time I listened and it clicked, and it made some different profound change. And that's what I'm going for today. So literally, let's start with the first things first, right? Literally. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to think about it, and you can close your eyes if you want and imagine this, because I want you to reflect on yourself. When you wake up, I want you to think of 3 different things. What's the first thought that comes through your mind? Number 2, what's the first words that come out of your mouth? Number 3, what's the first thing that you do? Now, the first thing you do, maybe it's go to the bathroom, but the point is to become aware of what you do in the first moments of your day. What are your first thoughts? I remember when I was younger, I used to do roof construction. I woke up every day and I was like, I hate this. I mean, what energy is that starting my day in, right? I like David Meltzer. He puts it like the start of your day is like a car at the top of a hill. If a car at the top of a hill starts to roll down, you can easily stop that car, right? You can stop it from moving. But if it starts rolling down the hill and picks up momentum, then good luck stopping that car. A brick wall is going to stop that car. And just that's the same thing. How are you starting your day? Are you starting it with, oh, here's another day. I know I'm going to face some problems today. Something I challenge you with that I learned from Dr. Wayne Dyer is I start my day as soon as I open my eyes, sometimes before I open my eyes, and now it's become a habit, is to say thank you 3 times. I open my eyes, sometimes after I put my feet on the floor, sometimes before I put my feet on the floor. I just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it really starts my day. You know, if I have some things, if I had some bad news the day before, if I'm in a difficult, challenging situation, it's just such a powerful way to start the day. And sometimes if I need 3 times doesn't do it. Sometimes 3 times doesn't change my my emotion. So I'll say thank you all the way as I'm walking to the bathroom, right? And as many as it takes. So that's what I want you to become aware of. What are your first thoughts in the morning? What are your first words in the morning? And that's a great way to start your day. So I talked before about self-talk, and self-talk is so important because what we say to ourselves has a giant impact on our emotions, on our actions, on our decisions, on our way of life, right? And like some examples are, I'm lazy. I'm in English terms, if you've tried to learn English and you just don't feel fluent, I'm just not a language person. Nice, Joanne. I think of the 5 things that I'm grateful for the moment I open my eyes. That's awesome. That's so cool. If you're taking notes, take note, write that down. Make your bed. Awesome. Make your bed. Jordan Peterson fan, I see. Yes, I make my bed too. First thing, I started that habit too. It just it clears your mind, right? Maybe you say, I'm just not lucky. I'm just not one of these people that things come to me, or just bad things happen to me. I'm just not a lucky person. Like, these are self-talk that they're innocent, or I'm just joking, or no, I don't really mean it. Like, but you wink, wink, you really do. You know what I mean? Deep down inside. And here's the thing. Like, they come from our beliefs, our self-talk. It's not joking. It's not joking when we say, oh, I'm just too stupid to do that. You know, it's like that kind of thing. It comes from a belief. And until we can address that belief, our lives will not change. Does that make sense? So here's the thing. Here's the powerful part. Your beliefs are not even your beliefs. These words come from our beliefs, but your beliefs, what you believe, your worldview is not even your belief. And you say, Jesse, what, like, that doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Some of you probably know what I'm talking about. Some of you are probably like, what does this mean? And here's the thing. We are programs, and this is one of the things I'm going to want you to write down. We are programs of what was put in us from our external world, right? And if you're taking notes, if you're writing this down, I put in us in yellow to highlight it. I'd like you to underline it or write it in a different color if you're taking notes, because we are literally programs. We are computers that our external environments installed programs in us. Not intentionally, usually, sometimes intentionally, right? But influence, we call them influences, but I think programs is a better way, is a better word. It's a more powerful word. And it describes what's really going on, because we are programs of the conversations we've heard when we were little. Were our parents arguing about money a lot? Were our parents unsure about what was going on? Were we teased in school? Did a teacher, like, it just takes one teacher to have give one comment and tell you that this was not good, and then we translate it in our minds to say, oh, we're just stupid. I'm just not really smart, right? Our community, did we not feel involved in our community? Did we not feel included? Did we not feel a part of the community, right? Or did you? Maybe that, it doesn't have to be negative, right? Did you feel a part of your community? So now you're an outgoing person, you're a go-getter, right? So good experiences and bad experiences. A lot of the times these types of lessons are focused on our bad experiences and why we have negative, but there's good with that too, right? So grab the good, harness the good, magnify the good, and then release the bad, right? That's what we're going to do today. Here's the point. Here's where it's going. And once you understand what we're going to talk about next and what we just talked about, it will change your life. Your life will never be the same. Once you understand it. Remember, going back to the beginning, we talked about knowing and understanding. Once we'll personalize it. I am so eternally grateful to, God, universe, the source, the universe, energy. I am so grateful that I understand the self-awareness. I'm more self-aware. I'm so grateful for my work and personal development as a father, because it has profoundly impacted the way that I raise my kids, made me conscious of the things that I say around my kids, not only to my kids. What's most important is what I say when I'm around them, because they're watching. They don't always listen when we talk to them, do they? When we're talking around them, right? So I'm so eternally grateful that I have children at this point of my life when I'm aware of these principles. But here's the thing. Here's something so powerful. What we see is not our reality. What we see is not our reality. And you might say, like, Jesse, this is all great, but you don't understand. I live in this country and we don't have money, or I'm sleeping on the floor, or I'm going through a divorce, or I have this illness, or whatever. And I say all that with respect. Like, those are real rough situations, but those are not reality. And I say those with respect because some of those situations I've gone through and I am going through, right? So, and for myself, I have to remind myself, this is not reality. What we see is not reality. What we see is a projection of the program that has been put in us that we talked about before. What we see, it's kind of like if you go to a movie theater and you see the projector at the back of the theater, and then it shows the image, and we see it on the screen. If you look up, because I like to look at how things are produced and how things work, right? And then you see sometimes there's dust, and you see the dust, and you see the projector. But the movie's from there. But what we see is on the screen. Same thing. What we see in our reality is just the projection of the program that is in us. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work with reprogramming what we see so we can change the channel and we can change the movie. You know, you might say, like, yeah, I have this coworker, or I have this client, or I have this, you know, whatever, that every time I see this person, it makes me so mad. It makes me so angry. It just makes me, my blood starts racing, and I try to control it. And every time I see them, they make me mad every day. They get my boss or this or that. And here's the thing. They are not making you mad. You're making you mad, right? I see every time I do this, I fail. Well, yeah, that's coming from inside. You know, here's the thing. If you take that person and take them out of your life, your projection, your program, your anger for that person is still there. So guess what? Even though they're out of your life, somebody else will come in and fill that space. Somebody else will come in and fill that space to make, to bring out that anger that you have inside. Remember, what we see is a projection of what's inside. Does this make sense so far? Let's put it into practice. I'm a language teacher, so let's get a little language exercise to practice this. And you can take a second and you can write this in the chat, and I want you to say it out loud. What word is this? This is a pronunciation, you know, a way to pronounce an English word. What word do you see? And if you have to, I want you to say it out loud with your mouth. Say it out loud. What word is this? And you can type it in the chat too. That'll be super powerful. There we go. Okay, the first two. Okay, so the first two are exactly it. There you go. This word is plain. The reality, right? The reality, maybe I don't have a job. The reality, maybe that I'm, you know, whatever. I have trouble finding clients. The reality that a client canceled. The reality, whatever that reality is, this is the reality. The reality is this word is plain, right? But it could be P-L-A-N-E. It could be P-L-A-I-N. If you like to travel, what image did you see? You probably saw an airplane, right? And it depends. Whenever you see this word, it's the, you know, whatever you're most familiar with is the image that you're going to have in your mind. If you're into fashion, you probably thought like plain, like a plain shirt, a plain colored shirt. If you probably thought maybe like a simple machine, like a plane, right? If you are into cooking, if you're into cooking, maybe you thought like a plain flavor, right? Something that's plain. So many different words. One reality. This is reality. Plain is reality, but it's not really reality. Reality is based on our perspective, right? Here's another example. What's the first thing that comes in your mind here? And you don't have to write it because the word is here, right? But what's the first word that comes to mind? There are two main words, right? There's record, like what we're doing now, you're recording, you're saving it for later, right? Repetition, repetition, record a video, record, but there's also record. Same reality, but based on context. And I want you to think context. If you're taking notes, right? Context matters, right? A record, a world record, right? So it changes everything. Is it okay that I record this? Or Usain Bolt has set another world record. The same reality, the same situation, the same word. But listen, it changes the sound. We have record and record. It changes the sound completely. Record or record. It changes the form. It's a verb. Is it okay if I record this? That's a verb. Same word, it changes the form. Usain Bolt has set another world record. It's a noun now. Same reality, but we change the context. That's what we're doing. Same reality. We're changing the meaning. We're changing the form. We're changing the outcome, essentially. Okay, so we're going to get to an exercise now. Yes, reality is what we give meaning to. Yes, absolutely, Joyanne. So I want you to have 2 pieces of paper or 1 piece of paper and write on 2 sides or front and back, whatever, but get paper because I'm going to want you to do some internal work. But first, I've been talking a lot. You've been listening a lot. I want us to move internal. Okay, so I'm going to take a break here and I'd like you to join me and close your eyes. We're going to do some of that breath work to kind of slow our brain waves down, to slow our heart rate down, and to really get present in the moment if we can. So let me take a drink first. I like Bob's idea. And what we're going to do here is we're going to shut out as many external stimuli as we can. So close your eyes and we're just going to breathe. We're going to breathe in. I'd like you to breathe in for 4 seconds and you'll do it on your own. Hold it for a beat and then breathe out for 8 seconds. We want to get all that old air out of our lungs, right? In 4 seconds, hold it for a beat, and out 8 seconds. I want you to do that 4 or 5 times on your own. I'm going to be quiet now. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feel your brain waves slowing down. Get present inside your body. Inside your belly. Inside your heart. Be conscious of your heart. When you're ready, open your eyes a bit, well, or all the way. Okay. And I'd like you on 1 piece of paper, And I put this, I think you can see my cursor. I put this for English because, you know, this is a workshop that I gave for my clients. So my clients, their biggest issue is English. But I want you to use it for anything in your life or your business that you need. That's why I put it in brackets, right? What I see about my life, what I see about my business, what I see about my relationship, what I see about my career, my income. Okay. I'd like you to write down a list of things that you see in your reality. Let me give you some examples. So I see that learning English is hard. A lot of people say that. I see that I can't get a job because they expect this and this and this certificate. I see that I am going through a divorce. That's my reality. I see that my electricity is going off. I see that I can't connect with people. I want you to get, I wrote here, I see that I'm ugly. And you might think, Jesse, you're ugly. What is this? This is a business connect. Well, we'd be shocked to see what things actually affect us in business. You know, if I see I'm ugly, that's a self-image thing. Whereas if I see I'm ugly, why would I want to go on camera and introduce myself and network with people? Because I'm ugly, because you know, nobody wants to see me, right? So it's all connected. So I see I'm sad most days. I see whatever. I'd like you to take, I'm going to give you, it's only been 28 minutes, so we're good on time. I'd like to give you maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes to just think about yourself, write a few things down about IC. And if you have any questions, you can send, write it in the chat or come on here, come on the mic if you want, but write down what you see in your reality. It's one of these things I want you to write them down, not just think on it. Writing down is so important because it puts things in a concrete way, right? In a concrete image in our minds. Oh, that's a good question, Joanne. And Jerry, we can talk about the Eagle method. Send me a message after and we'll talk about the Eagle method. And Joanne, for this negative things, because what we're going to do, we're going to work with changing these around. So if you're positive, you don't really want to change those, right? You can't save for money from my customer. You mean you can't ask? Okay, you can't ask for money. Okay, that's great. Write that down. That's a good one. That's a good limiting belief that you can take care of fast. Okay. Let's get to the second part of this. And this is only a trial. I suggest and I recommend you do that. I've done this several times. I've done this exercise 2 or 3 times about different things. And it's super powerful. So after today or tomorrow or something, take some time with yourself and really go deep and really make a whole list. I was going to bring my notebook. It's not here. I forgot it. But I wrote a whole yellow legal pad full of things, like 30, 40 things that I saw in my reality that I thought was my reality, but it wasn't. So here's the next step. The next step is I want you to cross out C. I want you, everywhere the way you wrote C, I want you to cross out C. I see that learning English is hard. I see that I can't talk with clients. And I want you to write believe. For me, this was even more powerful than the second thing we're going to do. But this was so powerful because it made me realize, it kind of made me become aware that what I see in my reality is what I believe. Right at the time, I was sleeping on the sofa. So I said, I see that I'm sleeping on the sofa, and I wrote, I believe that I'm sleeping on the sofa, and it clicked, and I'm like, that's true. I see myself, I identify myself right now with somebody who sleeps on the sofa. So if I identify myself with someone who sleeps on the sofa, where's the urgency to change? Does that make sense? So Joanne, to go back to your question, this is why it's probably, I didn't want positive things in this one. So I want you to cross out every time where you say see and write believe, and then say it out loud to yourself. I believe. And then once you realize it's a belief, then we can look to change it, right? Okay. That's part one. Any ideas, any questions, anything here? Part two, I want you to write your new beliefs that are directly opposite, because those are, we don't want to keep it where like, I believe that I'm ugly. I believe that I'm sad most days. I believe that I'm on the sofa. We don't want to just be there. So I want you to take on the second paper, write your new belief that's the powerful version of the old belief. Right now, I believe that learning English is easy. Right? I believe that I add tremendous value to any company that I help. I believe that companies are asking to work with me. I believe that I'm worthy of love. I believe that I'm in control of my success and it feels great. Take a few minutes. I'll give you a few minutes to work on this. See you guys writing. I love how involved you are. This is amazing. Okay. Now for the fine, I believe that I can ask for money from my customers and they will be happy to pay me and satisfied with my service. Yes, Judy. Yes, 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 yes. There's still one more thing. There's one more step here. Are we ready for one more step, or do you need a few minutes? Okay, let's go. The last step. We don't want to keep this as just a belief, right? We've changed our beliefs, right? Our self-image, our projection, but we want to solidify it in the real world, right? So I want you to cross out belief, I believe, and I want you to write down something, in the present tense, right? I am so happy and grateful now, and an emotion that's involved, an emotion that you're feeling, an emotion now that this is a reality. So I am so happy and grateful now that learning English is easy. I feel great now that I add tremendous value to any company that I help. I know that I am worthy of love, and I feel wonderful about myself. I am so happy and grateful that I'm in control of my success, and it feels great. Take that. Thank you, Joanne. Take a few minutes and do this final step. Yes, I'm so happy and grateful now that they are happy and satisfied with myself. Well, I'm so grateful now, happy and grateful now that I can confidently ask them for money, ask for money from my customers, and they're happy to pay me. I would add that too, but yes, yes. Okay. Now, take a few minutes and read your new beliefs, your new reality. And well, we're on 40 minutes now, so we only have 5 minutes. So after the reading, or after the session ends, right, read that. Something that I got from John Assaraf is read it with your finger going across the page every day. There's new beliefs that you've made and that you're going to make, in the next time you do this, in a deeper way. Spend some time, spend 20-30 minutes with yourself doing these. Read it with your finger going across the page. That gets your body involved. That gets your eyes involved. Read it out loud. Get your voice involved. Get as many senses as you can involved in doing this. And another thing that I do that I was recommended and it works is this app called Think Up. It's called Think Up. It looks like that. It's yellow with like a little plant thing. It's called Think Up. Think Up. It's a way that you can record something that you write, like affirmations, or I've used it for learning Spanish. People have used it for learning English, right? You record it and it plays on a loop with some gentle background music that you can choose. And you read these affirmations, you read your new reality in Think Up, and then play it while you're sleeping. And so as you're falling asleep, as your brain waves slow down to alpha and then theta, you're getting that affirmation. You're getting, I am so grateful and happy now that I'm worthy of love and it feels great. All of your image of the successful you're getting that while you sleep. And And that's become aware of your thoughts, take inventory of the things you say, and take one step in the right direction today. And I thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. And I hope it served you.
Wow, Jesse, this has been really powerful.